Okay, let's get started. Hi, I'm Bill, and welcome to one more video. It's the 24th of August 2025, and if you're new to the channel, I used to be a traveler for 4 years, and then I made a decision to put my two telescopes, an Edge HD8 and my RedCat 51, onto piers at Starfront Observatories in Rockwood, Texas. And they've been on piers since roughly January 1st of 2025. And one of the things that I like about this hobby is we get to explore. We're free to explore. Now, I'll admit when I was a traveler and I would travel down to the Southern California deserts or up to the Sierras or even over into the Arizona desert, I often felt challenged for time, having enough time to explore. Now that my two telescopes are on piers at Starfront, I've got a lot of time. So I don't feel constrained from the time perspective. I can try things out, and if it's a failure, no big deal, because I have a lot more imaging hours available to me now that I'm no longer traveling. And I'm getting to image under Bortle 1 skies down at Starfront. So what I wanted to share with you is something that I've started to do. And I've started to use Grok from xAI. And I've been using it to help me build exposure plans. In the past, I would go onto Astrobin and I'd put in the target nomenclature and I'd look to see what other people were doing. Oftentimes, I found a beautiful image, but there was no detail on how many hours, how many per filter, and those type of things. And then the other thing I've always been curious about and never really had a good answer for was the ratio between filters. And that's to say, if I'm imaging a target in a narrowband, I've just been distributing the number of sub-exposures per filter so that it's always equal. But since I've started to use Grok, I'm making some changes, and I want to share with you a little bit about how it's been working out for me. And what you see here on the screen is Grok, and I asked it a simple question. Give me a simple exposure plan to image NGC 4565 using my Celestron Edge HD8 with an 0.7x reducer and my ZWO ASI 533M camera when I will use a red, a green, and a blue ZWO 1.25-inch filter. And so Grok rather quickly comes back with information and, create a simple exposure plan for imaging NGC 4565, the Needle Galaxy. Okay, so and it kind of reconfirms what I put in, and then it starts to give me equipment specifications. It knows with the reducer, since I said I'm using a reducer, that it's going to be roughly 1422 millimeters on the focal length, and that the focal ratio is going to be f7. It understands what my pixel size is on my camera. It understands full well capacity, read noise at the gain of 100, and it has a lot of information. And then it goes into like exposure plan goals. Capture vibrant star colors and galaxy details without bloating bright stars. Achieve sufficient signal to noise ratio for the galaxy's faint outer arms and dust lane. And so has a lot of information, and then it starts to get into the simple exposure plan. And now it says here, this plan assumes you're imaging from Bortle 5, 6 sky. What I did not tell Grok up here was that I'd be imaging under Bortle 1 skies, because when I use the R, the G, and the B filters, I normally have my configuration set in Target Scheduler. I'm a N.I.N.A user, and one of the plugins is Target Scheduler, and that's what I've been using to manage all my projects. We're going to go over and take a look at that, but I have the moon avoidance parameters set up, so when I'm using the R, the G, or the B filter, or when I'm using Ou4, I have it set to only use those 4 filters when the moon is not up. But anyway, a lot of interesting information, figures out pixel scale, gives me an idea what I want my guiding to look like as far as within arc seconds per pixel. Tells me what the exposure plan goals should be, and then it starts to get into per channel information, exposure times. You notice here it says red 30 seconds, green 30 seconds, blue maybe go 30 to 45. Well, right now my dark library is set up for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, so I'm not going to go 45. And then it gets into the number of subframes, and 60 subframes by 30 seconds, so just 30 minutes with the red filter and 30 minutes with the green filter. So, goes into why 30 to 45 seconds. Gives me feedback on why I want to use a shorter exposure time. And then it gets into gain settings. Why gain of 100 will provide the full well capacity. So a lot of cool information here, and tells me what I should be doing. Guidance as far as calibration frames, how many bias frames, flats, dark flats, those type of things. And now I should tell it, if I would have told it in the question that I have an autofocuser, it probably would not have given me this information. I don't know. And again, if I had been more specific about the sky conditions that I'd be imaging under, this would be different here. And then it even gets into, stacking PixInsight or Deep Sky Stacker. And if I would have asked it to give me a PixInsight processing plan in addition to the simple exposure plan, it would have given me a workflow for PixInsight. So that's pretty cool. And anyway, the final answer is here, more succinct summarization. And so let's go over to my screen over here, and we're going to go to, give me a second here to move things around. Let's take this down, and let's get into here. And which one do I want? I think I want this one. Yeah. So let's go over here. All right, so you see here, again, I'm a Target Scheduler user. I might have done a couple of videos on the channel around Target Scheduler. To me, as a monochrome camera imager, and now that I'm on the piers, but even before that, when I was traveling, I started using Target Scheduler to manage the imaging for me. And so it's pretty cool if you're a N.I.N.A user and you're trying to improve your efficiency and get the most out of each night's darkness. You might want to take a look at Target Scheduler and give it some thought, maybe give it a test run and see what you think about it. But anyway, here, so I have a plan over here. Let me make sure. Yeah. And so what I'm doing here, stars are stars green and stars blue. If we look into my exposure plan, you'll see that, I got to change this. So this is a good catch here. You'll see that they're 30-second exposures. 30 seconds and 30 seconds. And I am going to want to change my exposure plan. And let's see if I can do it on the fly. This is generally where my videos go off the rails. So I'm going to set this to 8. And I'm going to set that to moon must be on. And then I'm going to save. And then we'll go into G. We're going to edit that exposure plan. We're going to set that to 8. And moon must be down is on. And then B, we're going to edit. We're going to turn on moon avoidance so we can enable the moon must be down. And so now I have, if we go back into the Needle Galaxy, now these exposure plans are set up so Target Scheduler knows that I only want you to take these exposures when the moon is down. And so what I've done here, they're 30 second, and I'm doing 60 exposures. So we go back over here, red for 60, green for 60, and blue for 60, for a total time of 90 minutes. I would never have thought of trying to shoot something for that amount of time. It seems very short to me, but I'm gonna run with it anyway. So that's what I have set up over here, and I'm gonna see what I get, and then I can always take additional exposures. So as I'm acquiring images, I'm going to get some record of each sub-exposure here on what has been acquired, what has been accepted, and those type of things, and percent complete and all that. When it comes to dithering, since I'm taking 60, right now I am going to take 30 seconds for the red, change to the green, take 3 30-second exposures, change to the blue, take 3 30-second exposures, and then I'm going to dither. Now, you're probably thinking that's an expensive exposure plan because, the number of dithers and the number of filter changes when you're just doing 30-second exposures, you're going to have a lot more of them as opposed to taking a 300-second exposure, taking 2 of them per filter, and then you switch filter, take 2 more, switch filter, take 2 more, and then dither. There's a lot less filter switching, a lot less dithering. But I'm going to go with what Grok has indicated there. And so we'll see what we get. And if we go into Astrobin and we go into, I have this image that I took back, let's go over here. So I have this object, NGC 4565, the Needle Galaxy, that I did some time ago, back in 2023, where I had 4 hours of data. Now, this was under Bortle, probably 4 skies. Yeah, I was at Goat Mountain Astronomical Research Station, managed by the Riverside Astronomical Society down in Landers, California. So, as you may know, under Bortle 1, and the way I've figured it and looked at the data, for 1 hour of data under Bortle 1, it's about 1.4 hours of imaging time that I need to equal the signal that I'm going to get from a Bortle 1 hour of imaging. So, but anyway, I've got this image that I'll be able to compare to, and you can see here, even I was doing 180 seconds, these stars are kind of bloated and everything. So again, what I like about this hobby is we're free to explore, we're free to test. Now again, I understand when you're constrained, you're dealing with weather, maybe you're imaging from your backyard, you've got all kinds of stuff, you have your kids, they need to go to baseball games, all that stuff, When things are on a pier, it's much more relaxed. I'm not in a hurry. I have a lot of time, so I can explore and I can try these different things. And now I'm going to use this exposure plan over here, which will just be an hour and a half under Bortle 1 skies. I'll process it, and then I'll compare it to this image over here, and I'll do a stare and glare and see what I get. And now the great thing is, it's very easy for me to just up, once I get the desired number of exposures per filter over here, this will turn to red, and it will no longer be considered in the planning that Target Scheduler does, because it'll be inactive. But I can easily reactivate it, and I could change this 60 to 120, and then again it'll be enabled to true, and then Target Scheduler will consider this project again going forward. So a lot of great benefits about this tool. But again, I'm trying to highlight, I don't know how you feel about AI, but I'm finding it very interesting, and I'll show you how I've already used it for another project. So let me go back over here, and let's get rid of this, and let's bring this one up. So what we now have on the screen is my Red Cat 51. And so while I don't have the history here of the query I did with querying Grok, what it provided me with was an exposure plan that looks something like this. And what we have here really is these are 5-minute exposures that I have in my exposure plan. The Ou4 no moon is set up so that the moon must be down, so it will only image with the Ou4 when the moon is down. And let's go back up to where was it? Okay, it's this one here. And so what I basically have this set up for is 20 hours of HA and 30 hours of Ou4, because I'm trying to bring out that Squid nebula that is associated with this. I think it's the Flying Bat Nebula. And so Grok said I should use 10-minute exposures, and I told Grok I only have I can only do 5-minute maximum, and the reason again is because my dark library, I didn't build a dark library around 10-minute exposures, and with my Red Cat being down on a pier, it's not easy for me to do darks, but I do have a solution. I'm going to get a blocking filter. I'm going to take my luminous filter out. I'm going to put that in the luminous filter position in the filter wheel. I think if we go in here, what do I got? My filter wheel. Yeah, so I've only got 7, right? So I'll take this lume filter out, and I'll replace it with the black filter, and that will enable me to build new dark libraries for my ZWO ASI 2600mm camera. But anyway, well, let's disconnect that. Okay, and go back into Target Scheduler. So now what I want to show you is where I'm at right now. I have more than the desired, so 281 on the HA, a little bit more than the 240 I originally requested. I have 183 of the 360, and this 183 equates to roughly 15 hours of O3 data under Bortle 1 skies. So now let's take a look at what that looks like. And let me go over here. And let's go over to here. So probably the quality of the resolution coming across through this video is probably not going to be great. But what I did was let's move that down there, and let's bring up I was just thinking to myself, time to get an even faster computer with more memory than what I have right now, but I'm getting by with this. So basically what we're looking at is the 281 frames for the HA and 183 frames. So I think if we go into this post-calibration, so okay, so right now I've got 23 hours and 25 minutes and 15 hours 15 minutes of the O3. So that's what I just processed this morning. And so let's exit this, and then let's take a look at this image. And so let's even get this even bigger. Oh. So what so let's maximize this. So what the status of this image right now is it's a simple, dirty processing. I did a stacking, you know, I did the WBPP, and I did a linear fit. I combined the channels. I didn't do any DBE or Grexpert or anything, or color cal, but I did do blur exterminator. I removed the stars, and I did noise exterminator. Now, looking at it here, we need to really start to zoom in. And again, I don't know how this is going to come across, but if you see where my cursor is, we're just starting with 15 hours of broken into 5-minute exposures. We're just starting to see the outline of the squid. And so, yeah, so kind of in here, I don't know how it's going to come across. So clearly, I've got another 15 hours to go at a minimum, and then that's going to be about 55 hours on this target. Now, the beauty of being on a pier where there's roughly 200 good nights of imaging, although the been a little bit rough, the weather in Texas the last couple of months, but as far as cloudiness and those type of things. But clearly being on a pier, I could never collect this much data being a traveler. I mean, I'd have to camp out there, and I'd have to be there for successive full moon or no moon periods and everything to be able to collect the O3 under what I feel are optimized conditions, which is a personal preference not to image with that O3 filter when there's any moon up. So a lot of luxury there that I'm enjoying by being on the pier. And again, got my Edge HD8 there and my Redcat 51, and I'm basically paying $199 per pier for the subscription of the pier. So roughly just under $400 a month but it, for me, provides a lot of value, and it's actually roughly $100 less a month than if I was traveling out to the deserts and where I would only normally stay 4 or 5 days. So, I'm getting a lot of value out of this. So, that's basically what I wanted to show you. And again, if you've not used your favorite AI tool to help validate your exposure plan or give you some idea of what you might want to consider. I mean, Grok understands the magnitude of these targets, and that, as I understand, goes into influences what it recommends as far as simple exposure plans. So me trying to pull all that information together myself through Astrobin and looking at cloudy nights and other places, it's very convenient for me to ask the question. It understands my equipment. If I add, so let's just see for the fun of it. Provide me Pix Insight workflow to process the let's see what happens. Okay, so get notified when, okay. So I could even step away. I'll take a drink of water. So you kind of see what's going on here. I have no idea. I've gotten good plans consistent with what my current workflow is as of most recently. Thinking next we'll browse a detailed workflow for chaotic nebula. Okay. Okay, here's an LRGB, but I don't use LRGB. Okay, it's going through a lot of stuff. So let's try something a little different. Give me a Pix Insight workflow for and maybe I need to go up to Grok 4. This might be Grok 3. So there's been some additional improvement. Okay, so it knows it's the Flying Bat. It's likely an HOO, which is the palette that I did use to create the image that I just showed you. And okay, pre-processing, noise reduction, channel combination. Yeah. This looks good so far. Oh, okay, I got a quick answer button here. Okay, so hit the quick button if you're in a hurry. Uh, I have not yet, while I have gotten PixInsight workflow plans returned to me when querying Grok for other targets, I've not yet tried to use that workflow, so I really can't validate it. I have what I think is a reasonably good workflow, and so I've been using that, but I will start to look at this a little bit more and see what it may provide me as additional value or opportunities to change my current workflow to optimize the resulting image. But anyway, just wanted to share with you what I've been working on. If you're new to the channel, you might have seen a video that said, well, I'm not going to put any more videos up on this channel because I didn't feel like I had anything of value to add. While you may not have found anything of value in this video, maybe some of you have, and if you have, drop a comment or give it a thumbs up. I do think using Grok is just giving me a little bit more confidence when I'm building my exposure plans that I'm on the right track. And again, I'm going to start to look at what it's saying as far as the PixInsight workflows and see if I can gain anything of value there. But I just wanted to show this to you. Grok, you might want to consider it. And then again, as to the current state of my image, I've got additional 15 hours of time that I need to put in on the Ou4, and who knows, that I might put 20 or 25 just trying to bring that Squid Nebula forward. But again, I have that luxury because I'm just sitting at my desk. My telescopes are down in Texas. I check Astrophyric to see what the weather is going to look like. I go to the Discord and see what they're saying as far as the weather and roof plan, what they expect for the evening. Will the roofs be open or not? It's just a super convenient way to image, and it enables me to enjoy the hobby at the same time gives me a lot of free time to just live my life and spend time with my friends, my wife, and everything, and not feel conflicted about having to get in my van and travel 500 miles and all that jazz. So anyway, if you're a N.I.N.A user, you might want to check out Target Scheduler. I think I'm going to image tonight. Let's see what is up. And if we bring the time forward and we run it, okay, again, it's going to focus on Sharpless 2 129. And if we get into the details of the plan, you see we're going to be hitting the Ou4 filter. So looks like that's mostly Ou4 now. That is going to be doing 3 5-minute exposures, and then we're going to dither, and it's going to go that way along the course of the night. Its Target Scheduler knows that the moon it is not, when the moon will not be up, and then it will image for those period of time. So anyway, something to check out. If you'd like to know more about Target Scheduler, you want me to show a few more things, drop that in the comments. I'll be happy to do that. I am cleaning up my my project list here. I've learned a lot. I was separating out like my HA and S3 or S2 from the Ou4. Now I put all the exposure plans under the same project, and I've been learning a lot about it. And It's just been a very good convenience for me, and lets me know how I'm progressing, what's left, what have I captured, and those type of things. And been a lot of fun. So, all right, well, thanks for dropping into the one more video, and I am going to be making some changes down on my telescope, at least as far as putting the filters in, so I can rebuild my dark libraries and those type of things. I'll probably drop a video around that and those type of things. And then I've got several images in process that I've got to finish, and then I'll be sharing those in reveals in a video probably over the next month or so. So I hope wherever you may be in the world, you're looking forward to some clear skies. And if you like this kind of content, please like, share, and I think it's worthwhile subscribing maybe again, because there will be some follow-on content. So thanks again for dropping in. As always, clear skies.